is none of us want to be on just another bus ride. We don't want our families to be just another bus ride. We don't want work to be just another bus ride. We want it to be an exciting ride. And, when I saw this picture of a bus driver, I don't know if she's expecting an accident with that yellow vest on, but anyway, I thought that smile said it all and it reminded me of Joy. So chapter 6 is when you catch up with what I think is the reality of all of our lives. When we have orientation here, Donna shows this great video of the football coach, Lou Holtz. And for all you young guys, Lou Holtz is one of the best college football coaches in the history of college sports, college football, but he talks a lot too, so he's funny. There was always throughout his history, if you look him up on YouTube, you'll find all kind of quotes. But we show this video he gave at a commencement speech. And one of the things he talks about, in part of it, he says, you really shouldn't go and you should be positive all the time. You shouldn't go around talking about your problems to other people all the time because they don't want to hear about it. And, 90%, he threw out this stat. He said 90% of the people don't want to hear about your problems. And worse than that, the other 10% are glad you have them. And which is really where George was. All George could focus on were his problems. But in the reality, every single person has problems. We when we're self-centered, we think our problems are worse than everybody else. And, in this point of the book, when he got back to the on the bus on that Wednesday, he was so happy that Joy was there, and she tells him that she's off every Tuesday because she has to take care of her sick dad who's got Alzheimer's and doesn't remember anything. He was stunned. How could somebody that has her attitude have problems? But we all have problems. And so we get to decide, how we're going to face them. And so the real battle is how we deal with our problems and face them with a positive attitude so that they don't beat us. So we refuse to be beaten by the problems we have. And as Joy says, and I believe this, it's about loving life. It's about loving the people around us. It's about looking for the good in people, no matter what's going on. And then it's about loving yourself. You have to love yourself enough to want to be good and have good thoughts so that you can look at things in a positive way. And that's really hard to do some days, but there's so many reasons around us to stay positive. So look when we can for the big picture. And then I added, we all have the problems, but then I added the yes in there because that really strikes a chord with me. One of my favorite things in the world is getting yeses. If we worked on getting yeses every day, so I loved it. If you remember in the book, the energy in there, she was just trying to get him to commit. She was trying to get him to say yes. And, if you can picture all those people on the bus, and as soon as he said yes, all of them boosted the energy by yelling, yes, yes, yes. And that yes is contagious. Yeses are contagious. And so I think they're such a positive that I love it when we try to get yeses. Oops. Hey. So when he says yes to learning the 10 rules, of course, I did like the whole conversation about there's already too many rules in the world. And I think with everything we've just gone through with COVID and everything else, we all laugh about so many rules. But the number one rule that he agreed to is that you're the driver of your bus. And I love this bus driver when I saw this picture. But that's the most important rule, because if you don't take responsibility, personal responsibility for your life and control of your bus, then you can't take it where you want to go. We tend to always, when we're looking for problems, there's some external force or some external issue or something that's happened to us or around us that has caused us to not accomplish something. And it's almost always not that case. It's us. It's our personal drive or opportunity or attention to detail or focus. And so, for me, especially, the first part of this book is about you being the driver and realizing that you're the driver. George was completely in control of what was happening to him, but he just didn't see it that way. And if you're not the driver of your bus, then you're always at the whim of everyone else's travel plans. And man, I thought that was very powerful when you're thinking about a bus and where you're going. And then the funny thing for me was, especially this being on a Monday, is the whole statistic that the guy pulled up that says more people die on Monday morning at 9 a.m. than any other time during the week. And so it's true that people would rather die than go to work. So I thought that was really funny and appropriate if you're really looking at focusing at the wrong things. So the issue with all this that we see is that most often that people really don't know where they want to go, so they never get there. They may be driving, but they really don't know where they want to go. And this vision of where you want to go is completely up to you and no one else. And I love this quote from Norman Vincent Peale. It says, if you want to get somewhere, you have to know where you want to go and how to get there. And then you never, never, never give up. And that's what this whole energy bus is about. So what I want to do with this, as finishing up the first part of this book, is I want you guys, all of you, to answer the three questions that Joy posed to George. And I think these are three important questions for all of us, because one of the missions with GSM is our vision and everyone that works here's vision have to be in alignment so that we're all achieving our personal visions and the company visions together for our customers. And if we're not on the same path, short term, we may be able to win together some, but we'll never be able to win long term if we're not helping each other win. And so I want all of you to answer these questions. My vision for my life, including my health, is. My vision for my work, career, job, and team is. And my vision for my relationships and family is. And following this meeting, we're going to be sending out a fillable form that we've put together. And so we're asking you all to fill this out in the next week and share it with your supervisor. I think you should share it with your family, your better half. I think you should talk about it more openly. And then if you're sending it to someone, I want you to talk about it to them. I want our leadership to understand each other better. Share it. If you've got somebody at the company that's a confidant, share it, and then figure out how we can try to help each other accomplish your vision for your own future. And then if we all do that, we'll all be in a lot better place going forward. And then the last couple things are real simple. I love the Einstein tie-in she gets into on about energy. And, Einstein changed the world. It's interesting reading about him. And I'm not an Einstein expert at all, but I do love the thought that we don't really live in a physical world, but a world made completely of energy. And think about what changes in a room when somebody that is just so energetic that they just ooze energy compared to somebody that doesn't. Think about the outcomes when you're with somebody that's energetic and when you're with somebody that's not. And so the quote from Einstein that I included was, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. And then I'm going to finish with a John Gordon quote that relates directly to the energy bus. And it's, positive energy is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The stronger it gets, the more powerful you become. The more you focus on positive energy, the more it becomes your natural state. So guys, thanks so much for the time today. Let's get those. Stephanie's going to send out the three questions, and the homework is to read the next 40 pages. So when we get to the first week in next month, we'll have, I think Stephen's up next, and we'll be reviewing those to keep on going down the road on what can happen with this. And then also, let's get those questions answered and have some deeper discussions with people that you work with, your supervisor, and more importantly, maybe your family, and see what kind of outcomes you can get on your direction and your future. And guys, thanks a lot for the time. And I hope you have a good couple weeks, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.